Okay. Okay, so today we're going to be setting up this bird cage. Let's go ahead and get it unboxed. There we go. Now let's go ahead and get started on getting this thing together. So I do have to mention the brand did send this out to me so I could put it together for all of you. And oh my goodness, this was really difficult to put together. The instructions were not the most helpful. So hopefully this video is helpful for you. So first step is going to be putting A, B, and C together with these D nuts and bolts. So the A pieces are on the side in the middle with those feet. So you're just going to insert piece D through A and B, and then just screw the other end down. Okay, so I was putting this together and the instructions didn't really say that there were two sizes of the screws, but there are. So if you look, these ones are much shorter than those ones. So there are 4 of the longer screws. Those are going to go in this middle part because you have to go through 3 pieces. So they have to be longer. The smaller ones go on either end. So if you're looking at step 1, smaller screws are going to go on either end, and these long screws are going to go in the middle right here. And then next, we're going to be putting the wheels on the bottom so that it rolls. Next, you're going to be putting piece E, F, G, and H on top, and it just kind of fits right in the middle right there. Next, you'll insert pieces I, J, and K into the little holes on all the corners. And then make sure that you put piece K on the front and make sure that it's facing the right direction too. If you want to skip ahead, I go over that at the end. Then the little L piece is going to go right in the middle, just so piece N can slide on top of it. So on top of that, you'll put piece M, and that just goes in the middle slots. And then you slide piece N right between the 2 cages. And then on the front and the back of these cages are these little hooks that you're going to slip underneath the metal just so it secures it. And as you're going, you can put these little wooden rods in. That's going to be piece P. Then you're just going to continue that process and keep going up till you reach the top, where you'll add piece Q just on the top. Okay, for this last step, these little feeding troughs for the birds, they come like this. So you're just going to take that top piece and stick it on like this, with those little feet going down like that. And then these keep the birds from being able to get out. So it'll look like that and just hang in the basket, just like that. I did want to show you, I accidentally put this front piece on wrong. So it's upside down. I kept it like that just in case you do the same thing and you're wondering what happened. This just needs to be flipped around so it looks like this, because the feeding containers need to be down so you can actually put food in it. Also, it did come with 2 extra feeding bowls, so you can just put them in one of those bigger doors or just keep them just in case they break later. So I'm just going to set those to the side. So these are the instructions for this bird cage. Honestly, they were really confusing and hard to see what you're doing just because everything's so small. So I did make a few mistakes while building this. So I feel like the instructions could have been clearer, but I still got it together, so it was somewhat successful. They did give me an Allen key wrench to tighten all of these bolts. So I did tighten those at the beginning. Now, I either lost or they forgot to give me an extra nut because I'm missing one of these. So I'm just missing a nut for one of these sides, but I'm sure I could find one that fits just at like a local store. But that was kind of disappointing. I got a little frustrated putting this together just because the instructions were not very clear. And so there were a few times where I built something and then I was like, wait, that's not right. So then I took it apart and redid it. I do like that the wheels have brakes on them because you don't have to mount this to the wall or anything. You can just roll it around when you need to and then put the brakes on when it's staying where it's at. This again is one of those moments where they were not very clear because only 2 of these have the brakes on them. The other ones don't. So I'm assuming the ones with the brakes are supposed to go on the front of either end. And it said nothing about that in the instructions. So just know that those brake wheels should go on either end. But other than it being difficult to put together, I feel like it is a really nice option for a bird cage. It has a lot of fun accessories. So this actually pulls out so that you can easily clean the bottom when it gets all messy. And even this part comes out, so you can just take this out and hose it off and wash this separately. And then even this part that holds the drawer in comes off, so you can wash that as well. And it has this little handle right here. And then it came with all of these little wooden dowels for the birds to sit on, and there were actually enough for 2 per cage. And then of course you have these little spring windows for the feeding area, and then this big door to get the birds out or reach in there. And my hand can reach in there no problem. It's a pretty big space. Each tier is the same, so you have all the same pieces and they just fit together like a little cubicle. And if you wanted to make it just a little bit smaller, you don't have to use all the pieces. You could just use as many as you need and then keep the rest away in storage if you didn't need all of these, because it does come with 2, 4, 6, 8 cubicles. You would just move this top piece down to whatever level you want to stop it at. And then on all of the sides, there are more doors. So if it's easier to get in on the side, you can do that as well. And they're the same size as the front ones, so easy to fit your hand in there and reach in if you have to. But yeah, when those brakes are up, it actually rolls really easily. So it was easy to move around and get into whatever place I want it. So yeah, it's a really nice metal cage. If the instructions were better, I feel like it would have been a lot faster to put this together. So hopefully this video helps you, because I wish I had a video like this when I was putting this together.